See these? These are seed potatoes. That should have already been in the ground. I am a bit behind. I gotta get these in. Let's go get this done. And I'm gonna share with you a few tricks that I am gonna be doing this year, and hopefully we'll see a better yield. All right, let's go. All right, everyone, here is the plan. I have these wooden potato boxes that my dad built me a couple of years ago, and I've used these with him when I was up in Alaska as well. And then we have these green potato bags right here, or they could be used for anything else, but they have like a flap at the bottom, so you could open that flap up and like pull the potatoes out. I'll be perfectly honest with you, they're not that big of a bag. I did not do that last year. I turned over the bag and I just, poured out what was there. So, and I have a bunch more bags there than I'll probably use. I also did carrots in there because they're deep enough easily to do nice sized carrots in. And this is kind of my last regiment to get something planted this year because looky there, no garden beds still. So, this is, I think the last 2 years have been a year of just have patience, Helen, everything will come together. So anyways, that's all right, we'll get through. So these slats off of these wooden ones come down. You leave the last 2 slats on, I think. I'm gonna leave the last 2 slats on and go ahead and plant your potatoes. And then once they go up, we'll build up. Now, I have 3 different varieties of potatoes this year. I have, well, let's go take a look. I have, let's see, and by the way, I'm way overdue. So they are getting seeds, and I don't think all my seed potatoes are gonna be great. So these are Yukon Golds. I have, 2 Yukon Golds, 2 Pontiac Reds, and then these, which are going in the boxes, are my Nicolas. So I'm doing Nicolas in the boxes because those apparently are one of the varieties. Nicolas and Corollas, my understanding, are the 2 varieties that do really well in the boxes and grow up and you can get a good yield, which is my goal. The red potatoes and the Yukon Golds are better with the traditional hilling where you're not going up, up, up. So I would not get the yield from those 2 in these boxes, so I'm not going to waste my time putting them in there, and instead I'm going to use the green bags for that. Also over here, because potatoes are the #1 sucker of potassium out of your soil. So I have made potassium water, and I'm not sure, sorry about the shadow guys, if you can see in there very well, but anyways, the kids and I got organic bananas. We threw the banana peels in there. They have been soaking and creating potassium water. And then calcium is another thing that our potatoes need. So I have a lot of extra eggshells. Some's totally powdered and some is just crumbled that I'm going to mix in as well. So we're going to use potassium water and calcium from our eggshells to give these guys some really good nutrients right off the bat. And then over here, we're going to use, we purchased, a friend of ours makes this soil out of cow manure and sand, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It has a wonderful pH. Let's see if I can show it to you. The pH is, it has a pH of 6. It's beautiful. But last year I made a mistake with my potatoes, and I planted them in nitrogen-rich soil, which I know better. It's actually the second time I've done that, so not very bright on my part. Nitrogen is really wonderful for non-root vegetables. Anything you want that's growing up and out of the ground and you are harvesting from the top, nitrogen is amazing. Things that are root vegetables, not so good because you're putting all the nutrients into the leaves and not the root vegetable, whichever one you're doing. So, bummer on my part, 2 different seasons, but this year we're not making that mistake. All right, guys, I'm going to get a bunch of this done and we'll bring you back to see what I'm doing. All right, everyone, we got all the boards taken off, and we had 8 of these bags. I didn't think I was going to end up using them all, but I am. I had more than I anticipated. I have the Nicolais in these 2, and then the first 5 over there are the red Pontiacs, and the end on the 3 on the end are the Yukon Golds. So I have mixed the egg mixture, put the soil in, mixed the egg, crushed eggs in there, and also watered everything with the potassium water, and then I put the seed potatoes in, and I'm getting ready to just cover them up, give them another good watering, and we'll just see what happens. I'm late, like I said, so we'll see. I also wanted to show you this. Like, I was taking these boards off, and a ton of my screws just kept breaking off. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that is something really common where I live. We just took our deck out recently because we're going to be replacing that. It was needed when we moved in here 4 years ago. We just didn't get around to it. And a ton of the screws just kept breaking off. We live in northeastern Washington. Does that happen where you live? Is that common? I don't remember that happening when I lived up north or when I lived south. So the interesting thing about where I used to live in Alaska, it's in southeast Alaska, so it's a rainforest and it's very humid. Same thing in Florida, which is where I used to live, and it's extremely humid there. Goodness, can't get that out. But here it is extremely dry weather, so we find that the wood gets brittle really quick, and I keep breaking screws. So if that happens where you are, let me know in the comments. I'm super curious if that's just this area or what the case may be. So I'm going to get these covered up with dirt, chat with you one more time. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, everyone, we got it done. We got them all topped off with their next layer of soil and got them all a nice little soaking, and I will continue to make potassium water and feed it that periodically in between regular waterings, and then we'll just keep saving our eggshells. We have some still left over, so when I go to hill or add more soil to it next time, we'll go ahead and mix that up with some more eggshells to continue to give them that great calcium, and hopefully we'll get a decent yield. I really want this to succeed because I only have so much space for gardening, and I'm trying to learn how to do some more vertical gardening. And I've done these boxes before that are back here, but the problem is that I used the wrong soil. I used nitrogen-rich soil, which wasn't the right choice, and originally I was using the wrong variety of potatoes. So hopefully we're getting the right combination this year, but once again, I'm a little late getting them planted, and I'm hoping that's not going to hinder their productivity. We're going to find out soon enough. There is a longer growing season here than where I used to live, so that is a blessing. And so we'll see what happens. What are you growing this year? What is with potatoes? What have you had success with? Boy, I can't get that out. I am really wanting to succeed with this type of container gardening when it comes to potatoes. I've also looked at some others where they use like big towers of like fencing, and I'm thinking I might try that in the future, especially if I continue to have the issues where the screws just break off and it becomes a problem. I'm basically going to take a Sawzall and make those flush with the wood, but then I got to make sure I'm not, then I got to make more different holes every time. It's just kind of a pain. So I'm going to try maybe that type of tower next year with the correct variety and the right type of soil and giving it the right nutrients, and I'm really hoping to succeed in potato gardening in this way. So if I grow nothing else this year besides a few herbs and potatoes, I'm going to consider it a win while we continue to work on our property, and I will continue to share that with you. So hopefully, guys, you're doing well and you're getting your projects accomplished, and we'll see you, we hope, in the next video. Bye.